Welcome back to Wings of Liberty campaign. We're finally gonna do Zill and pick up our siege tanks. Now, a couple of things before we get this mission started. Just gonna talk about what I did to prepare for this. First of all, base upgrades, bunkers, +1 range, and this will allow you to fit a couple more guys with guns in it. This will allow your missile man to shoot further. Infantry, very helpful to have concussive shells. AoE slow will allow your siege tanks to get in another hit before the enemy approaches. Also, Vikings. I got Vikings to take out the Colossi. The Colossi, on top of doing damage, also provides vision for the other protoss units, which will actually add the DPS to your tanks. It'll deal a lot more damage to your tanks. Now, if you're missing global credits, which you shouldn't be at this point, unless you bought a bunch of, I don't know what you bought, New Folsom is really good because it gives you a good amount of global credits, and also the additional objective gives you a bunch of global credits as well.
Mobius wants us to go after another artifact on some dead world called Zill. Apparently, they sent in a specialist team, but they lost contact with them 2 days ago. Their bad luck, I guess. Figure we'll get hazard pay for this one. So here's the deal. This place is a morgue. Whatever used to live in these ruins up and died millions of years ago. Before they went missing, the Mobius team reported artifact radiation emanating from that big old hunk of rock over yonder. They brought a big damn laser drill to burn the way in.
Laser drill? That thing's a monster. If the Mobius team had access to that kind of hardware, I hate to think about what could have wiped them out.
Reckon we'll find out soon enough, partner.
So the main composition will be siege tanks. I'll put 2 bunkers on each side with the Marauder inside, and the rest will be guys with guns. That'll add to the AoE slow and make the mission quite a bit easier. Vikings are for spotting for secondary objectives and also for taking out the Colossi, as I was talking about before.
More terran beings. The mysteries of this place are forbidden. You will pay for your transgressions with your lives.
Okay. At least we know what happened to the other expedition.
Let's try not to lose any units here, I guess.
Hold up there. Those protoss cannons will tear us a new one if we try to advance. Swan, you promised me siege tanks. Where are they?
Settle down, hotshot. They're coming. These babies will knock those cannons down from a nice, safe distance.
So I'm going to unpower the cannon first because that pylon has less health, and it's just going to speed up the mission a little bit. Not that I care. I mean, if I care to not shoot the cannons. Like, if I really cared about this mission time, then I would not be sitting here shooting these cannons. But, you know, I like blowing shit up.
Just like the old ones. When you put them in siege mode, they get increased range and firepower. They can't move in siege mode, so if you need to reposition them, just switch them back into tank mode. Got it?
Let's get some siege tanks deployed on the high ground. They can pound that Protoss stalker before it even gets close to us.
Well, took care of the Archon there. As you can see, Archons here are not marked massive, or maybe they are, I forgot, but they do suffer from that Marauder slow, which makes the slow, which already got buffed from the fact that it's AoE, even stronger.
Mobius base local net accessed. Decrypting security overrides. Transferring control of base structures to you, Commander.
Fired up. 174 gigawatts. The power of the sun at your fingertips. Now get it aimed at that door and let's get cutting.
Laser output is good. Drilling will take some time, but there's no other way into the temple. Sir, the Tal'Darim are mobilizing their forces against us.
So we set a perimeter and protect the drill until we're through. Just glad we've got siege tanks.
It's kind of funny how the Tal'Darim had gateways and was warping in units. At least get warp gate.
Big job, huh? Huh? Well
You know what? I'll put the bunker here to sort of help WoL. Now it's important to have...
Bunkers and siege tanks defending that laser drill. We got no chance of claiming the artifact without it.
It's important to sort of do a little recharge magnet at the beginning, and also to swap your tanks around, especially if you're playing on the higher difficulties. Now what I mean by that is don't wait for them to get all of their units ready. Just go ahead and attack them. You can see the high ground mechanics really kicking in there. Let's add another bunker here.
So I managed to access what's left of the Mobius Expedition sensor net. I'll route it through your map so you can see what the Tal'Darim are up to.
We're not looking that good on the depots, so let's go ahead and work on that. This is a little bit far for a retard magnet, but I will still do it. You know what? You go help out with that.
Additional supply depots required.
Yes, sir.
Let's go and piss off the good old stalker. Oh, that's not good. Oh, Marine! Aww. Oh well. Not a big blunder.
Not enough minerals.
It's only one Marine. Who really cares about one Marine? Okay, we got enough SCVs queued up. Gonna start working on the gas again because we need that for the siege tanks. Seems like we're low on depots again. Now, I like to get the upgrades for the siege tank because they add more damage. I think they add 5 damage to the siege mode, whereas the guys with guns only get +1. So I feel like it's more worth it if we get the upgrades for the siege tanks. It's just what I feel like.
Additional supply depots required.
Standing by.
So the medics are basically fired at this point. We don't need them anymore. Oh, there's a huge wave of units. Let's go ahead and get that over there.
Insufficient rescue.
Oh shit, there's a huge pile of units everywhere. Oh shit. Well, that pile of units came first. Okay, back away, the other side. I feel like we shouldn't siege up all the tanks. Oh, well, they're coming this way, so that's good. You can see the Marauders still kicking in, and it's really, really helping. Just go ahead and do that. Not really in a hurry to get upgrades. Like, the mission is definitely possible without them. It's just upgrades makes everything easier. Got 7 patches, so not the usual ladder amount. It's kind of just what we have to deal with. Okay, so at this point I feel like the tank count is high enough that we don't have to move the tanks around. I'll just pick up the second gas geyser because we need that for the tanks. They will start using air units pretty soon, so I should probably build some turrets.
This will not be all by the faithful.
Sir, those are protoss archons. If they get too close, our men won't stand a chance. I'm giving you manual control of the laser drill. See if you can use it against the protoss.
I actually don't give half a shit about the archons.
Swing that laser around. We can use it to drive back the protoss.
That's the unslaads that I'm worried about. Like, the archons fall pretty easily because of the slow. So really, I don't care about the archons. And as you can see, they're loddling pretty hard. Maybe not that. We'll grab the expansion right now. Continue siege tank production.
Additional supply.
Okay, so now we got the saturation is pretty good. Let's go ahead and get our +1s.
Not enough minerals.
There's more Archons. Archons are not a problem.
Not enough minerals.
They do mark the unslaads as well.
Not enough minerals.
What's going on?
Yes, the unslaad. Let's get rid of that. Now, you can sort of see the Archons are bad because tanks are mechanical, structures are not bio, so it's not really a big problem that there are the Archons. They're not going to be dealing their damage, their bonus damage, which makes them so good. And I think the tank count is looking good, turret count also looking good. 3 on each side should be sufficient in terms of taking out the things, the air units. And it's at a time like this that I try to get a second expansion up. We'll bring 4 workers down here.
Alert. Enemy air units will approach vector.
Oh, great.
Damn it. Here. Those are transports. Use the laser to knock them down fast.
Oh, great. Skill raise. Get rid of the skill ray. We need to get rid of the skill ray.
Don't trash it.
Holy shit. How many tanks did we lose there? Okay, putting tanks there, definitely not a good idea. That close to the edge. Okay, you guys gotta make bunkers. We need 2 bunkers. And if we would hurry that up, then that'll be great.
Sir, I'm picking up the energy signatures of several protoss relics in the area. I'm marking them on your map.
Pack of stalkers, not really something I should worry about.
Well, if there's time, we can blast them free with a laser drill. I bet Stedman would love to study them.
Surprising that we need gas right now. Or we need minerals right now, not gas. Oh shit, that's a huge clump of units. Those are unslaads. We don't want unslaads. Stocklad, not that much of a problem. Ah, shit. Well, they should probably fix that up. It seems like they do use hallucinate.
Additional supply depots required.
That's okay, we haven't screwed up the mission yet. Where's Depot Man?
Complete.
Depot Man or Depot lots of men, I guess.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Okay, so we see no more in terms of the Colossi or anything. Well, Colossi comes later, but we don't see any more unslaads. That's a pile of Protoss ground units. Get +1 weapons, or +2 weapons actually. Bring us up there. Repair team looks nice.
Not enough minerals.
We actually don't need that second gas geyser. Got 4 tanks there, we got 5 tanks there.
The laser drill is now cutting through the door's thermal barrier.
Those are unslaads though. Should get rid of those.
triage?
Additional supply depots required.
I'm going.
Unslaads? Unslaad. Well, unslaads there. Now, I'm not quite... I don't even want to care about the armor, because chances are, if you're getting hit, then that one armor is not going to help much. It's mostly just the attack upgrades that we need.
Mineral field depleted.
I'm also picking up the attack upgrades for ships because they will help in taking out the Colossi. That's... I thought the tank was stuck there for a minute.
What's going on? Yo.
A third bunker is not necessary. I just like having it because it helps wall off.
Ready to roll out.
Sir, more air units inbound.
We gotta take them out, or they'll keep dropping troops right on top of us.
Alright, are there any more skill rays? No, just transports. What we got here? Oh, a career! Should probably get rid of that. Let's trash our turret.
Go ahead. Big job. Bad news.
Add-on complete.
What's going on?
And that is an unslaad. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Repair is on the way. Maybe another immortal there, or another slow thing. Psystorm, not that threatening. I'm kind of hesitant to put siege tanks over here because they don't help against attacks from this side. So now we're continuing with the Viking production. The Viking is what's going to help us against the Colossi and help us grab the secondary objectives. Right now I'm basically attacking the unslaads to buy myself more time. Like, I don't want to end the mission before I can pick up the secondary objectives.
Go ahead. Bad news.
Not enough minerals.
We got 14 here, and we got 9 workers. Wow, we can transfer a few more. Now we got 11 here and 14 there. This has 7 patches. I guess the imbalance came from the fact that there was a lot of units there. Whoa. Yeah, you have to be a little careful here. Like, they will sort of attack, they will sort of storm your shit, and you gotta be careful of that. Please tell me that's not Colossi. Oh, fuck, it's Colossi. The Viking count is not high enough.
Ready to blunder.
Okay, so it's just Archons at this point. That's fine.
Go ahead. Yo. Big job.
Mineral field depleted.
There's actually a lot of Archons. This army would frighten any Zerg player. Well, actually, that army will frighten anyone. Oh great, it's Colossi. on, Stalker. Bye-bye, Stalker.
I like it. Fight or flight.
Okay, now Colossi here. Immortals there. Immortals are not really that much of a threat now because their siege tank count is so high.
Made for drink. Good job.
Base is under attack.
Fight or flight.
Okay, we got Immortals, we got Templars, we got Trash here.
Let's get it. You ready for war? Transformation system.
Oh, there we go. That's the second one of the secondary objectives. I think Viking count is looking pretty good.
Fight or flight. Yeah, right.
Now, this is actually the hardest one of the secondary objectives. I think it has a stalker here that you have to kill.
Ready to plunder.
And the problem with the stalker is it will move when you drill it, so you sort of have to provide a little bit more vision than what's barely there.
Fight or flight.
Oh, there's another stalker.
Air units heading your way.
These guys just won't give up. Stick it to them, boys.
So we'll just get the Vikings back to protect against this first. Get rid of the skill ray, get rid of the career. It's a good thing that these things are basically paper airplanes. Oh, great. It's a career. Did we lose all our STVs? Doesn't look like it. Okay, you guys come here and fix this garbage. You can come here and fix that, and this will work on. Oh, Colossi. Colossi. That's my cue to just one hit it.
Base is under attack. Our SCVs
Oh, there's one Colossi there that I didn't clean up, but that was because I was a little bit busy here.
Transformation systems prime.
rescue geyser exhausted.
Ready for war.
Oh, there's the last secondary objective. There's no, none of that. Oh, storm. Oh. There was no storm until he stormed me. That's great. That's just great. Anyway, so now the mission gets a lot easier because we're done taking care of all the secondary objectives. All that we have to do is use these Vikings against the Colossi. I'm still skipping on all of the upgrades for air. This is a little bit annoying to deal with because it involves Templars. Oh, great. It's a good thing we didn't take too much damage from that. The barracks can just go over there. Any more Colossi? Colossi? Doesn't look like there's any more Colossi. Tank balance is looking good. I feel like the Protoss really ran out of shit to put. Templar though. Templar is annoying. Ah shit, that one survived. I guess that also acts as a really nice retard magnet.
I like it.
Now, the immortal count here is looking a little high, but I really don't care because what's higher than the immortal count is our siege tank count. And it looks like we might have 2 siege tanks for every immortal they can send in all 3 waves combined. That looks like Templar and Archons, so nothing we should worry about. There look like 2 Colossi there without Templar support, so this should really be easy for us. Let's stack the Vikings. Here goes 1 Colossi. Here goes the second. Now back to work. Go fix up that crap.
Very well.
I guess it's really fortunate for us that this spawn attacks on the left, because the left side is really easy to defend because this bunker will slow down things all the way across this part of the map before they can actually attack us.
Breach of the doorway core is imminent. Structure access imminent.
It is our sacred duty to stop these divine. Burn to ashes.
So at this point, they basically start sending absolutely everything. Like, they won't clump up the units before sending them. And in my opinion, that actually makes it easier, because like no more giant clumps of units taking up the siege tank damage. Like, it just makes it easier to handle. Now, a bigger problem is, how do we fit all this onto Hyperion?
You have prevailed for now. Word of this sacrilege will echo across the stars. James Raynor, the day of reckoning draws near.
These artifacts of yours seem real popular, Tychus.
What do we care? As long as the pay's good.
Really? I'd say getting vaporized by the Tal'Darim definitely counts as diminishing returns.
So we got 18 units vaporized by the Tal'Darim, as Jin would say. I'd say that's acceptable losses. We did gain a lot of siege tanks, and we brought aboard a lot of minerals, and siege tanks made from the minerals we collected.
James Raynor, I bring tidings of doom.
Zeratul.
I have pierced the veil of the future and beheld only oblivion. Yet one spark of hope remains. You will hold her life in your hands. And though justice demands that she die for her crimes, only she can save
Wait a
us.
second. You're talking about Kerrigan. It's been 4 years. You show up out of nowhere and...
Time is short. You must understand. The answers you seek lie within. Study it well. The fate of creation hangs in the balance.
Nice to see you too. I've heard of these Ehon crystals before. Supposedly they allow you to relive another person's memories. Whatever Zeratul's uncovered, he was desperate for me to see it too. Well, here goes nothing.
Now here's my whatever about the crystal missions. The crystal missions allow you to use protoss, which means all of your upgrades at the armory and all of your research here are basically worthless. These missions are not going to get any easier anytime at all. And they do give a lot of research points, so they'll make your Terran missions much easier to do later on. So I would suggest you do this as soon as possible, which is also one of the reasons why you should do Zil as early as possible, because Zil unlocks the crystal missions. So you know what we're gonna do next, but before we do that, let's talk to everything on the ship.
I'm pleased to see these things haven't blown up the ship. Yet.
Sir, given the visual similarity between the various pieces, have you considered that they might combine to create a larger, more distinct object?
With everything else going on, Stedman, I couldn't care less what they do. Just that we get paid when we finally hand them over to the Mobius boys.
Seems like we have no more research. Nope, only +3. Thought the crystal was shinier than usual.
You ain't gonna believe this, but I just saw Zeratul on the ship.
How much did you have to drink tonight, sir?
He was here, Matt. And he was hurt. On the run from something.
Where is he now, sir?
I don't know. But he ain't on the ship anymore. He gave me an Eon memory crystal, and he was desperate for me to study it. I guess he wants me to see what he's seen.
Quick, someone get Zeratul a medic. Protoss really needs that. If anything, Terran's good at band-aiding shit up. They can band-aid up Protoss mech, they can band-aid up Protoss units, and multiplayer Terran is, well, they're good at band-aiding and they're good at smashing shit too. Okay, let's see if we got the base upgrades. Speaking of the base upgrades, the Protoss missions also count as missions, so they'll also unlock your additional base upgrades, so by the time we get back, we will of course have the orbital command.
We're rocking some serious heavy metal now that we got siege tanks.
Yes, sir. The comforting thunder of the big guns. Well, comforting when they're on our side.
Yeah, these newer tanks have better guns when they're on the move. And reinforced armor.
So long as they still got the range in siege mode, the rest is just gravy. Between siege tanks and bunkers, we can hold the line against just about anything.
Oh, by just about you mean other than broodlords? Careers. There's something about carriers that makes them worthless when they're careered, and that happens quite a lot. Here's the tank. I guess description thing, go read it. And with that, I think that's everything. No, I forgot everything here.
Had any visitors lately?
I don't know what you're talking about, Tosh.
Oh, I think you do, James Rayner. Something was on this ship just now. I still smell it on you. Protoss. Interesting.
Whatever you think you know, you just keep it to yourself. I hear you yapping about this, and I'll toss you out the airlock.
This is Donnie Vermillion, live from UNN. Tonight, the Zerg invasion. The battle so far. The Terran Dominion is holding firm under Zerg aggression. Our industrial complex has stepped up production on all fronts. Enlistment rates have risen within the penal system, and the Marine Corps is ready to get in the fight. The Zerg won't know what hit them.
Donnie, has there been any word on when we start pushing the aliens back?
Kate, if I revealed that, I'd be giving away vital Dominion secrets.
You think the Zerg watch our broadcast?
I know they do, Kate. I know they do.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. This is Kate Lockwell for UNN.
So now we've got 3 of these artifacts on my ship. When are we supposed to hand these damn things over?
Well, that's gonna be a bit tricky. I hear the Zerg have attacked the Mobius Research Center on Tirador. I don't get it, though. What's the Queen of Blades after? Ain't no artifacts there.
If those eggheads can't hold out till we get there, we may never know. Upload the data to the star map. Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned rescue mission.
Well, we'll do that after a bunch of other things. Namely, Protoss things.